Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of the Crypto Bellwether. On this channel, we cut through the hype and the noise, and I give you the non-biased information you can use to hopefully capitalize on the biggest opportunity in history. I truly believe that this is the best chance for the average person to change their financial future. Now, that being said, guys, crypto has changed. And the days of, people that don't know much about finance and things like that, just throwing in $1,000 and, making millions and millions, it's pretty much over unless you happen to be one of the 0.0001% that buys a meme coin or something like that. That doesn't mean that you can't be extremely successful. I truly believe what I just said. But you're going to have a certain amount of knowledge. And you're not going to get that probably from YouTube. There's only a handful of people, in my opinion, on YouTube that are worth listening to. Most just tell you what you want to hear. They don't have a background to be competing against, the likes of the traders on Wall Street, right? And the hedge funds and the bank executives, the big whales, people that have been trading billions of dollars for many, many years, the hedge fund guys, all those. Good luck, guys. My goal in this video and on this channel is to give you the information you need to be able to make good decisions. And I want to get you in the 10% club, right? There's a lot of tribal people in crypto. They all get wrecked, but they still want to be tribal. Well, guys, if you want to be in the tribe, be in the 10% club. The 10% club is the only amount of people that make money in crypto. 90% of the people are going to lose money. And guys, one thing about trying to grow a channel is videos like this doesn't do it. It gets very few views because people want to be lied to. They want to, they buy these projects, they start losing their money, and they keep going back to the same people that got them into it and say, please help me, tell me what I want to hear, tell me I'm still getting Lambo. This bull run, next bull run, next bull run, they're going to keep telling the same lie, and it keeps growing their channel, and you keep listening to them. Now, I'm not telling you to listen to me, but find some people that are at least going to be honest and tell you the positives and the negatives. That being said, think about it, guys. We just got the news that Ripple and XRP won their court case. XRP is not a security. In my opinion, that sets a precedent that the bulk of cryptos are not securities. Well, if they're not securities, what are they? Well, the CFTC says they're commodities. I believe that. Now, most people don't know this, but I used to be a licensed futures, options, and commodity trader. I bought my first foreign currency in 1990. And I woke up in the middle of the night and my brain just took off thinking about XRP is a commodity. And I started thinking, even with my background, I've been looking at crypto all wrong because I really thought they were more of a hybrid, and I still believe it's somewhat of a hybrid, but mainly a crypto. I mean, mainly a commodity. But just like most people, I've been looking at it under the lens of kind of comparing it to stocks. People talk about it all the time. XRP is the next Google or whatever. Ethereum is going to be like Microsoft. Well, guys, why are we using those comparisons? Now, I also hear people say, well, XRP is the next, what is it? They say Bitcoin's the next gold and silver is the next, or XRP is the next silver. Well, that's fine. I'm not here to argue about it, but what I want to do is give you some alpha of how to measure the value of a commodity. And I want to educate you how the commodity markets work, because Guys, the commodity markets don't move anywhere close to how stocks move. And you can make a ton of money in commodities. You know, before I got into crypto, I've never seen anything like it, right? Now, it was highly volatile. You had to be an accredited investor, and uh, you to make the real money, you needed to be in futures, and you could lose more than you put in. So that eliminated most people. But when I saw crypto, guys, this is a phenomenal opportunity. But if you agree with the point that cryptos are commodities, and even if you want to call them currencies, right? That's fine. Currencies are commodities. This video is going to help you. So what we're going to do is take a look at some charts, commodity charts, and then I'm going to compare lumber, and you'll understand once you get into the video. I'm going to compare lumber and the utility to Ripple and its utility for XRP. And this will make sense. And guys, you got to hear me out. This alpha, I truly believe, is going to change everything you think, every bit of the way you think about crypto. Because I truly believe that most people have been looking at everything all wrong. So let's get into it. Hit that like button. Hit the like button. All right, guys, check out this chart. What this chart is the basket index for the commodity market volatility tracker, right? So that's kind of the basket of commodities. Look, what do you notice? It pretty much trades in a range from here to there, right? And it has massive spikes, but it's really not trending up. So what's that tell you? If you're trading commodities and you get this spike, you take your dang profits. Or you can just wait for the next massive spike. But let's start at the beginning. You had a chance in 1987 to take profits, whatever commodity it was. You didn't do it. You bought. You get to wait till at least 20 years later or worse to get your money back. Guys, you got to understand that. Now, a lot of people are going to say, for instance, their favorite project, in this case XRP, might be the next global currency. Okay, fair enough. But check out this chart. This is a US dollar from like 1620. Pretty much a new currency, right? Look at it. Look at the volatility. And yes, it pumped for years. And then what? It died and died and died. So imagine if you bought dollars 100 years ago, say you bought $1 million worth 100 years ago. And you're like, my God, this is legacy wealth. And you started spending it and spending it because you have $1 million of what that would buy. You're dead broke. And it wouldn't have made it it wouldn't have made it 100 years. You'd be dead broke. You have zero buying power almost. The dollar's lost like what, 97.9% or whatever it's lost. Even if you held on to it, there's no legacy wealth, right? If you had $1 million right now and you're probably the age you're watching this, most people are probably 35 or younger. You can't retire. That's nothing. And in 20 years, it'd probably be more like you can buy a new F-150, or maybe two of them, and that's it. All right, guys. Now, so that's the point. But check this out. I want you to really pay attention to silver, because here's what they do in commodities, just like they do in crypto. You know, I harp on influencers that lie, and if nothing else, they're disingenuous or just straight up dishonest. But you know, like what's his Schiffler or whatever his name is, the big gold bug. See, here's what they do. They show you charts. Maybe they would start there and show you that, or they would start here and show you that. They don't show you the full picture. Now, this is silver, but the facts are, if you invested in silver in 1979, 1980, it's been 44 years, and you're not even close to getting your money back. Really? Silver's a good investment? Are you out of your mind? And gold is very similar. You're a little bit closer to getting your money back, and gold could hit an all-time high in the next couple of years. But my guess is it's coming back. But either way, the people that bought gold 40 years ago are broke. And look at the opportunity cost that they've lost. Now, bear with me. Now, remember this chart, though. Remember this chart, okay? It basically went, it came out, went up, consolidated, exploded, died, exploded, fell apart, and this is a historical bear market. You start at the beginning, right? And, well, actually, you could say that's somewhat, well, it's a 44-year bear market, right? 44 year. Yeah, if you go back to day one, you made money. If you went back in 1960 or 1620 and bought it, you only lost all that buying power. So it's down no matter where you look at it. But it's in a 44-year bear market. So the odds are if you drew that line, silver's probably going to pull back if it keeps going like it's been going. Maybe it doesn't. But now check this out, because here's what I want you to do. And this is where it gets good. Stay with me, guys. Now, I know this a lot. People don't like to educate themselves, but I'm telling you, we're going to lead somewhere, and it's going to change the way you think about your investments in crypto. Okay, this is the lumber chart. Okay, if you look at it, lumber pretty much slightly up over the years, and then it exploded during COVID. And it spiked like in 05 and stuff like this, and it's fallen way back. To me, it's still bizarrely expensive. Now that gets into the how you think about commodities. See, what moves a commodity is supply and demand, right? And the value is the demand and the supply based on what's happening in the world. And the intrinsic value is bigger to the people that actually take the commodity and turn it into other commodities, other assets, and basically turn it into money or cash flow. That's the way you think about it. So let's look at lumber as a commodity, right? As a crypto. The reason it spiked was because of COVID. Now in 05, it spiked because they were building so many houses you couldn't keep up with the demand, right? It spiked, but what happened? It came back. And during COVID, they shut down everything. They couldn't cut trees. They couldn't manufacture trees. Homeowners, builders were having problems going, building houses. People were so scared. The real estate market basically got silent for, I don't know, 6 months, whatever it was. And then it exploded again, which is your second wave up. But right now, the odds are we're just going to stay from here to this range for lumber. But now, the most value is the intrinsic value of, say, a homeowner, right? Who buys the lumber, who buys the 2x4s, right? And they build houses. That's the true value. But here's what I want you to think about, because this gets me into where I want to go with like tokenomics and inflation on a token, right? And until we get fully diluted, you need to understand what I'm about to share with you, okay? Because I want you to think about something. A homeowner, a builder, biggest builder in America, I believe, is like Pulte Homes. He's one of the biggest. Let's say they have a huge supply of lumber, shiploads and shiploads, and shiploads stacked in a warehouse. Okay? And you hear that they just got a government contract to build a Navy base and to build schools, and that some of the largest home builders in the world are partnered with them. Banks are partnering with them to expand. So they got all these contracts. Okay? And then you go look at the lumber market, bear with me, and the price hasn't spiked. And you're like, oh my God, the biggest home builder in the world has all these contracts, right? And a better analogy really would be a uh, a sawmill that actually grows trees and cuts down trees. But you understand my point. But what does all those contracts have to do with that sawmill? That's their supply. They're not going on into the market and buying on the open market. So until they do, it's not going to be bullish for the lumber market. Now that leads me into XRP. Now again, guys, has nothing to do with me telling you to buy or sell XRP. This is going to be a formula that I'm going to start. I'm going to experiment, work it out, and then give it to people to use kind of as a checklist of buying any commodity, right? Any crypto. Now, check out this chart. Does that chart remind you of any other chart? Kind of looks like the silver chart. These people waited 4 or 5 years to get their money back, and now they're pushing 8. Silver's 44 years. What looks bullish about that chart? That is a 7-year bear market. So that, and again, irrelevant of XRP. Any chart that goes that way is a bear market. This way is a bull market. Period. Okay. Now let's talk about, we've kind of already talked about if the lumber market, and hopefully that made sense, because again, the supply and demand of lumber goes up like with who buys it, but the intrinsic value that's non-relevant is what you do with that lumber. Okay, so how does that relate to XRP? So what we're going to talk about is the massive utility that Ripple has with XRP and the massive value it brings to Ripple. And then we're also going to talk about the value it brings to you. And you can do with that information as you will, but you really need to understand this. Okay, so let's dive into this, guys. Ripple has a massive supply. Now, what normally creates value for XRP is people have to go into the market, right? They buy mine in your XRP. And the more demand, the more it's going to go up. Okay? Now, Ripple doesn't do that. It creates an intrinsic value for Ripple. And this is the part I truly believe most people misunderstand. And guys, this relates to a lot of projects, especially until they get fully diluted. It's pretty much all of them, whether it's HBAR or Algorand or AVAX, right? It doesn't equate to Ethereum for the most part because it's truly deflationary. But I'm going to do probably Ethereum next, and the same checklist. But hear me out. So Ripple has its supply. Okay, Ripple goes out in the market and it partners with banks and it uses its supply to make more money. Right? That's a massive value for Ripple. But now those banks didn't buy mine in your XRP. What does that have to do with me and you? What does that have to do with the open market? You see where I'm going? It's a commodity. Ripple is a home builder taking 2x4s, building houses, making a killing. Has nothing to do with me owning lumber. You follow me? Now, it also sets up enterprise accounts and with like payment providers around the world. They go in, they partner with Ripple, they use Ripple's supply, and they sell to like me and you for like cross-border payments and whatever. Again, that is the company and Ripple partner together to use Ripple's supply to create a cash flowing asset using XRP. What's that got to do with mine and your XRP? We're not a part of that. It's actually negative because the people that want to would maybe go into the market if that didn't exist would have to go in and get retail XRP, right? What else do? They create the AMA, what is it, AMM pools. They make money with their supply. They fund it with their supply. Market makers. Ripple partners with market makers and said, hey, go make the market. They buy and sell all the time XRP. They use Ripple's supply. Again, when a market maker makes a killing, when Ripple lets them use their supply and makes money and charges them, what's that got to do with retail XRP? It is a commodity, and that commodity has a value, and it has an immense value to Ripple, and they're growing use cases all the time. But that has nothing to do with the global market of XRP. I hope that makes sense. Think about it, guys. Ripple is a lumber provider. They grow trees, which they already have the supply, right? They have a sawmill, they make more money. Growing the trees, they make money. Sawmill, they make money. They sell to the open market. They make money, right? When Ripple dumps supply every month, that's a cash source for their supply. What's that got to do with us? Well, that's actually a negative because now that diluted our supply. They took their supply, put it over to our supply. It diluted it, right? So when Ripple, right, like the lumber company who sold to the home builders are actually build homes and compete with the home builders, that's all positive. That's all intrinsic value for the lumber. Now, where am I going with that? What is the value and the demand, supply and demand of mining your XRP? Now, I'm going to walk you through how I make money. It has more value to me than a lot of people. But to me, as a speculation, I don't really speculate long term, but I do trade it almost every day. That's why I have so much knowledge about XRP. That's why I get in these arguments when people tell me, which is hilarious, you don't know what you're talking about. I do my research to stay on top of XRP constantly because I trade it constantly. I think most people don't take their money that serious. And when I get in these debates, no one ever corrects me with facts. They just call me a clown or old or tell me something like that. They just hate, but they never correct me. And I told everyone, prove me wrong about anything I ever say about XRP. I will make a video and correct it. I've yet to do it in 2.5 years. No one has proved me wrong pretty much about anything of substance that I've ever said. Anyway, I don't mean to harp on XRP. This is just a use case. Now, so I use it to trade, right? That has more value to me. Now, a developer who's going to build on the XRPL has a different use case. It has more value to him. And he does have to go into the market if he doesn't get, free supply from Ripple. And that does pump mine and your tokens, right? When someone builds on the XRPL and has to put up and buy XRP and can't do it from Ripple, that's actually a positive. But I've never used XRP for a cross-border payment. I don't have it in a wallet. to do payments, the odds are you don't either. Now, some commodities, Ethereum, Solana, and ones like that, I do use them constantly. So that's a different value. So here's my question to you. Whether it's XRP or any commodity, any crypto, what's the value to the foundations, to the early developers, the ones with their supply? Is it positive and negative? To the open market, mine and your supply that we bought, right? AVAX, great project, but had horrible tokenomics. And they've been dumping and dumping and dumping. Great demand. The demand's been going up. It couldn't keep up with AVAX, what foundation and the early investors from dumping. Well, now they're pretty much ran their course on their supply dump. It's going to get less and less. AVAX could take off, right? It will be a lot closer to being fully diluted than it was just weeks ago, because they had they either, I haven't looked at it lately, it's either already just happened or it's about to just happen, but the tokenomics to AVAX is getting a lot better. So what you want to get to is the point, like with Bitcoin or Ethereum. If you want to be develop on the Ethereum, you got to go stake, what is it, like $30,000 worth of Ethereum or something like that. You can't just go to Vitalik in the Ethereum Enterprise Alliance and say, give me some free tokens, let me dilute the market, right? So every time you hear something like that on Ethereum and you own Ethereum, that's actually bullish news, because they're buying mine and your supply. Same with Bitcoin. It doesn't matter what you do, just like this ETF, right? The ETF, when they sell to the customers, they're not going to the Bitcoin Foundation and using their supply. Now, they may be going to some of the miners, but that's still our supply. There's only, what, 20 million tokens. It may be even less than that because of how many have been lost and stuff like that. But think about that, guys. It's a big, big difference. So the whole point of that rant, and guys, I'm telling you, as a commodity trader back in the day, if orange juice spikes because we got a freeze, which I traded, probably my best trade for all of my customers that just exploded my book and everything else was a coffee trade. They found out all the coffee like that was been stored in across the world at the time had mold in it. Coffee went ballistic. It went up so hard for, like, I don't remember now, like 6 days. They put a collar on it. They closed trading. So if you were long, which my customers were long, they went what they call limit up. That's the maximum amount you could make profit every day to keep the market from exploding. And it did that every 6 days. So imagine calling your customers and go, hey, Mr. Johnson, Ray Meadows, you know that coffee trade? Well, it exploded and it went up the maximum amount. And I really don't remember how to do the math right now. It's been so long. But then, and they're like, well, sell it. Wow, my account went up 500%. Sell it. Well, I can't get you out. You call them the next day. You're up another 500%, another 500%, another 500%. I can't get you out. Well, get me out. Well, guys, fast forward 2 weeks later, it dropped almost all the way down. Maybe still be up 40, 50%, but that's nothing, right? The same with crypto. When you go through, and I should have put up more charts, they all look like this. The only difference, even if XRP, for instance, would have made a new all-time high, let's say this goes up in there, look at the time. And this is not uncommon. Go look at any chart outside of Bitcoin. Go look at any altcoin. Go look at any gaming token. Go look at any DeFi token. Go look at them all. Guys, when they take off, You got limited time. Look at this. Very little time. That right there, that whole move from start to finish is, I believe, maybe 5 weeks I'm talking about from here to back to here. 5 weeks. And then guess what? 7 years to take profits again. Or at best, 4 years. But most people aren't smart enough to sell that spike. Believe me, guys, in my coaching, I have a lot of people, and I don't mean to laugh, and I say this with love. I was shocked. But they came to me, and they bought XRP back in here. Put in $10,000, made life-changing money, $500,000 or more with 10K or less. Didn't take it. Wrote it all the way back down to from 10K to 13K. Then that 13K went up to 300K. They didn't take it. Now they're pushing 8 years, and their 13K is about 13K, maybe 15K. And if they would have understood that XRP is a commodity, or any of them, guys, this has nothing to do with XRP. This is the concept of what you are investing in. These are not the next Googles, the next Microsofts. And even if the ones that win, the odds are they're probably going to be volatile as heck for many, many, many years, right? Pick one. It doesn't matter. Again, guys, I don't harp on XRP. I want you to educate yourself of how to think. When these things start pumping, take some profits and keep taking profits. And if it keeps pumping, keep buying. And here's my goal, and this is what I teach in my coaching. And this is not financial advice. I'm going to let you go. But I think hopefully you got some alpha. Guys, my goal is no matter what, to teach people to understand what they're dealing with, how to get a game plan, right? How to compare projects. And guys, I want to get you into 10%. If you put $10,000 in crypto, yes, we all want $1 million. But what if you only get $500,000 and you expect $1 million? You didn't sell. What if you only get $250,000? What if you only get 50,000? Okay, well, at least you got 50,000. But look at me. When I'm serious. Look. I want you to think about something. 9 out of 10 people that are watching this that put in 10,000, no matter how long you've held it, after this bull runs over, are going to have less than 10K. 9 out of 10. And you know who's going to be? The people that think like this. Oh, I'm getting Lambo. Oh, well, I'll get Lambo this bull run. Oh, I'll get Lambo this bull run. You know who gets Lambo? The people on the opposite side of you. That tribal thinking, that thinking that you're buying the next Google. Guys, I don't want you to get wrecked. But hey, if you're successful not taking profits, right? If you stacked in the bear market, or even in the last 6 months when crypto was ripping, and you have less than you put in, you might want to rewind this video, get a better game plan. If you need help coaching, guys, reach out. We'll talk about it. It's only $250 for 3 Zoom or phone calls. I think it'll help you out a lot. But whether you take me up or that on my coaching or not, guys, do yourself a favor. Do enough research to understand what you're dealing with. Stop listening to people that don't have a clue what they're talking about, that never tell you anything negative about your project. That's the first indicator, right? And look, for instance, if someone told me to buy this token, even if no matter what token it was, right? XLM, XRP, Uniswap, I can go down the list. Out of this bull run, think about this, guys. Out of this bull run, out of the top 100, and the numbers get a lot worse, out of the top 100, only 20 made a new all-time high in this bull run. And I almost guarantee you, and it's not financial advice at all, but the probability is the top 100 in this bull run will probably only be 15 making you all-time high in this bull run. Those are probabilities that do not make sense. Crypto are not stocks. Take profits or become the profits, right? Don't be exit liquidity for the smart people. Join the 10% club. Hopefully join the 1% club. That's where the life-changing money is for sure, from the top probably 5% up. And it's not easy because, guys, look who you're competing against, right? You're competing against me. You're competing against the developers, the hedge fund guys, the VCs, the guys on Wall Street that we all don't like, but they went to Wharton and Yale and Harvard. They majored in international finance and banking, right? There's hedge fund guys that have $500 million or 500 billion, not million, to push these markets around and manipulate. There's huge investors that can move markets, and they understand exactly how you think. Every time you put on a trade, they go, oh, here's John Q retail. Boom. He goes the opposite, pushes the market for just enough to knock you out, then takes off with your money. Guys, you got to get educated, and I'm telling you, worst case scenario, if you take profits along the way, maybe okay, you only turn 10 into 50, but at least you turned it into 50. So you didn't get a Lambo, but hey, you got a new truck, right? But no one wants to spend 4, 5, 7 years in crypto and have less than they put in. And the opportunity cost, guys, think about this. And again, not harping on XRP, but think about it. You put in 10, you got $500,000. You didn't take it. Not only did you ride 7 years, if you would have took that $500,000, you'd be a millionaire easily. You could have bought real estate, and paid cash for it, right? Or bought a little quadruplex in a little town outside of Atlanta or wherever you're from, probably. Cash flow property. You could put it in the stock market and be making 12% annually for 7 straight years. Doing the math in my head, I'm pretty sure that puts you over $1 million. It's called opportunity cost. Guys, I'm here to help. Anyway, hopefully this helped you, but I really want your input. Do you think I'm on the right track? Now, again, has nothing to do with XRP. This is just trying to get people to understand the utilities of these commodities, because they really are commodities, right? You can call them a currency. Currencies are commodities, right? They're not securities. They don't give dividends. They don't grow, right? They're not building stores, right? They're not building restaurants. They're not building houses. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that like button. Share with like-minded people. But guys, subscribe and come back and be part of this community. Take care, guys.